The best sports show on YouTube brings you nothing but the most up-to-date content in sports. Welcome to the Sports Hit List. I'm your host, Juila Giamonna, and today we have an awesome segment for you. I'd like to welcome my guest, Jaymee Veney, a recent graduate from St. Francis College and former forward for the St. Francis Terriers women's basketball team. Thank you so much for being here today.
No problem.
First, I want to congratulate you on all your success on and off the court, from joining the 1,000 Point Club, becoming a member of the Duns Scotus Honor Society, graduating with 2 degrees, and last but not least, becoming an NEC champion, which we have the trophy right here. First, I want to ask you, starting the season with, ending the season with a tough record of 12 wins and 18 losses. Did you think that you'd make it this far?
Definitely not. There came a point in the season when, I definitely had a little bit of doubt, but at the end of the day, you go out every game, you just keep playing, and when we started winning, it was just like, hey, we have a shot at this. So we just, being a basketball player, you just have to play to win every game, whether you have a losing record or a winning record.
Right. What about in the beginning of the season? You guys started playing the preseason WNIT, and that was the first time in the school's history. What was that experience like?
It was definitely a good experience because, it was the first time in history that we played a WNIT, and, it was amazing, especially coming off of a great season, the year prior.
Right.
But
probably the best in school's history.
For us, definitely the best record that we've had. But playing in the preseason WNIT was definitely an eye-opener because we didn't really perform the way that, we did toward the end of the season when we played Albany. It wasn't, we weren't playing how we were used to. So It was definitely an eye-opening experience.
What would you say is the difference, like playing in WNIT and just Division I?
The first thing is definitely the nerves.
Right.
Because we've never done anything like that before. We were on a big floor up at Albany. Albany is a great team. They've gone to the NCAAs 4 straight years. And then we also had a group of new freshmen who we weren't really used to playing with and things like that. But once the year came on, we got a flow and figured out lineups and things like that. It was definitely a lot easier later on in the year.
You had to slowly adjust to it.
Yeah, definitely.
And those were just the 3 games you guys won. The last game.
Yeah.
I remember. And then fast forward a couple of months, and you and your team are fighting for the Northeast Conference Championship title as the number 5 seed. And all games, obviously, were played away. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that playing away games are at a disadvantage?
Definitely not. The season before, we definitely had a better record, I believe, away than we did at home, if I'm not mistaken. And just playing away, a lot of teams would like the home court advantage and people cheering you on and stuff like that. But, we like to rally from behind. So, there were, the 3 games we played well and ended up winning, but we had some tough battles and stuff like that, and the fan buses definitely brought our home to us, so it wasn't really that much of a disadvantage.
So it didn't really play much of a big role. You felt like you were home.
Yeah,
with the
definitely.
Fan bus there.
The only thing that really got us nervous was all the cameras, but
which was very exciting for everyone at home to watch.
Yeah, just not for us to just hey, there's a camera.
Smile.
Yeah, right.
And then the quarterfinals, you played the number 4 seed, Sacred Heart, which you guys won by nearly a 20-point lead. And then, that was a very exciting game. But then the quarterfinals, the semifinals, excuse me, you're playing the number 1 seed, Central Connecticut. And that game was a nail-biter.
Oh, God.
How were you feeling out on the court during that game?
I'm not going to lie. My coaches will probably be mad, but I was so tired. I felt out of shape. No, I'm kidding. Sacred Heart, or Central Connecticut is one of those teams where you never, ever feel comfortable because they have good players everywhere. They don't have people that average 12 points a game. We're like, stop her. The girl that hit the 3-point shot to get us in the next overtime was a girl that has not shot a 3 in her life.
Sure.
So they just have players that can just do everything all the time. But we just kept fighting. You know, we'd have timeouts and stuff like that, and, you know, our captains would just be like, you know what, like, we have this game, keep fighting, it's not a big deal. Like, we had been leading the whole game, so it's just like, we were leading the whole game, we can lead now. Like, it wasn't a big deal.
What about, I mean, you know, first overtime? Like, what were you thinking then?
The first overtime, I was pretty confident because once we like got the tap, or whatever, we went out on a pretty good run, made the first layup. But once I got hurt, I came down on a bad leg and actually tore different parts of my ACL.
Right.
But once I got hurt, I was just like, I really need us to win this game so I can sit down. And even after we won, it's just like I was like really in shock, but also like in pain, and I was just like, oh my God, we're going to the finals. Oh my God, my leg hurts.
Right. What were you like thinking when, you know, okay, now you won, but now you're hurt? Like,
I definitely was
that
scared
like?
because at first I just thought, oh, I'm panicking. It's not a big deal. Like I got a Charlie horse, and then once I found out what was actually wrong, I was just like, I was really afraid to tell the coaches because I didn't want them to not play me because I was like, I need to play. Like I want to play. I need to play. We're about to go to the championship. Like, you know, so. I did like some rehab here and there, some treatment, and sat out a few practices, and I was extremely nervous and to play the Robert Morris game, but you know, once the adrenaline hit, it was like nothing happened.
What was the atmosphere like playing against, you know, Robert Morris in the championship,
Oh God.
fighting for the championship title for the first time in history?
When we went there at first to practice the day before, I was extremely nervous, and there were interviews going on everywhere, and like the girls were like dressed in like their practice jerseys, but they all had like on like their long black tights or whatever, and they all looked really a lot scarier than they did the last two times we played them. But then the day of the game, it was like I felt like we had more fans and more atmosphere than they did. I looked in their stands and I was like, okay, great, like you have like 20 people, and I looked at our stands and I was like, guys, like our parents were there, and like kids from school were there, and I was just like, it was amazing. It was like we were playing at home and we weren't even really paying attention to what we were doing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you guys played RMU a week or so, give or take, right after the Terriers, the men's basketball team played them. I mean, what are the odds of that? And like, how are you feeling knowing that you were going to be versing the same team that the boys, you know, versed a week prior?
It was definitely crazy. When they lost, it was heartbreaking. We were watching it in the CCSU hotel, and like a lot of us actually cried. I was like, oh my God, like it was our only chance to make history. And but once we like found out that we would be playing Robert Morris, we were just like, this needs to happen. One of us is going to be Robert Morris. They lost, it's going to be us. Like there was no doubt once we got on that court that we were going to win. It's like it was almost like it was put in our hands. Like you guys need to win.
Yeah, you had it last week. It's our time this week.
Yeah, like once they lost, it's just like we have to have this because it doesn't seem logical that both of us would lose to Robert Morris. They can't have two championships. Yeah. Give one away.
Did you feel like it was sweet revenge for the boys?
Oh yeah, I definitely did. And I think their girls knew it too because they were just like, because we just looked like we fought really hard and that we wanted it.
Right. And then, you know, a couple of weeks later, you play UConn. You guys go dancing in the NCAA tournament. I mean, how do you prepare for a game that you know is going to be really tough?
Oh, first thing Coach says is there's not going to be any offensive rebounds, so we're getting back. And I'm like, you are right about that. No, we really just prepared like the same way. We had our same practice plan. We prepared. We changed up a couple of things. But UConn, realistically, is not a beatable team. And they won the whole tournament. They are a powerhouse. They have Olympians. They have WNBA players. They
don't belong in our division.
They belong in the men's division. But we were just so happy about the fact that we were going dancing. Like it wasn't win or lose. It's like, okay, great. We just made history. We're going dancing.
We made it.
We made it. So, and there were times even during the game that like we would score and I would just laugh, like, great job. Just like, you know,
for the camera.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, the first half we were down, you know, by a couple of points, but it's just like, we're there, we're having fun, our friends and family are there again. It's the first time we've ever done it. You know, our odds of winning are slim, but, you know, we still played and we still tried, but it was just like I was enjoying this game.
Right. What about advice? I mean, as a former player, what advice have you given to your, you know, former teammates that you hope they will, you know, remember?
Definitely when you think things are bad, just keep going. Because I started off horrendous my freshman year. Like, absolutely terrible, and I ended up being on the all-rookie team. My sophomore year was tragic, I thought. My junior year was up and coming, and I was just like, I don't think I'm really going to make a difference. And then it turns out senior year, I'm, making one of the biggest differences on the team. I'm, 1,000 point score along with one of my teammates, Sarah, two of my teammates.
You know that you scored like nearly half of those 1,000 in your senior year, right?
Yeah. It's just like I said, like when you think that, all else fails, just keep trying, because at the end of the day, if you keep trying, you just like wipe away all, all the negative stuff. A lot of good stuff can come of it, just like it did my senior year.
Yeah, never give up.
Not at all. Just, I still can't believe the year that I had and that like my team had senior year. So it's just.
Well, now that like your St. Francis College chapter is over, what's next for you? Have you been offered to play overseas? Are you continuing school? Like what's next for you?
I actually have had a couple of opportunities to play in a couple of countries and like get my master's degree and play for their teams and stuff like that. But truth be told, I don't really want to play anymore. I'm gonna rest my baby knees, and I'm going to continue my education, get my master's degree in childhood education and my second master's in special education through a teaching fellowship. So I'll actually start class next week, and I'll be teaching in August little 4th grade kids.
It's so exciting.
So, yeah.
I'm so happy for you and all your success, like I said, on and off the court, and I wish you the best in anything you do in the future, whether it's basketball or just teaching 4th graders.